Southern Music Research Center presents
Premier bonheur du jour, du jour, du jour.
DuJour.
This is Southern Music Research Center, and you're listening to Patrick Johnson. Music history means a lot, specifically Birmingham music history, right? And I say music history because I'm a part of hip-hop history, but because I was such a band nerd way back, we were taught everything at the Jazz Hall, right? When the Jazz Hall opened, that was a field trip for my class. You know what I'm saying? The first city stages, I was a senior in high school, right? Playing trombone. I got a chance to play with the All City Jazz Band, and so we played in the first city stage. You know who we played with? Jothan Callens put the band together, right? And he had the Birmingham Youth Jazz Ensemble many years later, up until he passed. Cleve Eaton was on bass. Ellis Marcellus was on piano, and they came down to play in the first city stages and played with this Birmingham Jazz All-Star band or whatnot, right? So music history means a lot to me. I got turned on to everybody I mentioned in there, and they kind of went from there from Fest Wiley. Everybody at the Jazz Hall on down. But right now, that's my focus, right? Is in some way, shape, form, or fashion adding to what the Birmingham legacy could and should be. We know the Muscle Shoals has a real dope history, and it's been told, it's been said, and there's nothing to take away from it because it is amazing, right? Nobody knows the story down here. That's my goal right now, is to kind of curate some projects and ideas. And because I'm moving more into the film space, that's where I'm kind of doing that, where I can kind of incorporate everything I do, from playing a part in the scoring of it, the music direction of it, and making sure that is a part of it as well, on down to telling some real dope, amazing, unheard stories. You know what I mean? First one I'm kicking off with right now, I'm in talks with the family on, is on Jothan Callens. And following up through that, that's gonna be amazing. That's the only name I give you. I got a couple on down the line and whatnot, but that's gonna be my first one that we kind of kick off. So the family's excited about it. I'm excited to try and help tell that story and whatnot. There's so much to it that I can't even mention right now that is ridiculous. But Jothan, of course, he was the guy who was over the All City Jazz Band then. He was the first artist in residence for Birmingham, and this was back in like '89. I didn't even know that could be a thing, much like, you know, a lot of people are realizing that Alabama has a poet laureate, you know what I'm saying, because she's black. Ashley Jones, what up? But you know what I'm saying? So like trying to tell these stories, man, and make sure that people hear them, make sure that they're good quality stories so that people can hear them and so that they can live them. That's it. That's what I'm trying to do, man. Hip hop has informed me and educated me. It's changed my viewpoints. It's where I've got my politics from. You know what I'm saying? My wife was 7 months pregnant with our second daughter. I had to work long shift in the weekend. We're both KRS-One fans. It's like, this is some shit we met on. You understand? She's quoting songs from Criminal Minded and Vitamin Necessary, and I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? So she had some shit. She had on her answer machine. You understand? 7 months pregnant, my wife goes to a KRS-One concert in Indiana that I can't go to. And she, you know, at this time, we some front of the crowd people. That's what we do. We, you know, right now I don't have to be there, right? But in this era, my wife is 7 months pregnant at a Carries One show in Indiana. I'm working overtime, and she's trying to find ways to call me from there so I can hear what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Like the foundation of how we met is based on hip hop. Like, you know, real talk. It's, you know, love and all these other things, but like hip hop was one of our major connections. Now my kids, they know what I do. They know what I've done. They respect it. They walk around with their, you know, with their head high and their chest out or whatnot, but they ain't know hip hop is, so. Which is cool to me because they be turning me on to some other stuff that I would not have listened to. Like I said, I gotta pull myself away. Now my oldest baby, she turns me on to a lot of local hip hop. I will say that. The biggest one she put me on was Big Avo. I may have seen his posts here and there somewhere or whatnot, right? Well, I wasn't tuned in though, in order that, you know, because it takes somebody to tell me. I see a lot of stuff. Somebody got to tell me, no, check that out, because it's so much, right? So she was like, nah, check that out, and I went and checked it out. I'm like, okay. When they were little, and I'm taking them to daycare, I'm playing Run DMC Rock Box, and you gotta do this on the way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Da-da-da-da. Like, you have to. This old school versus new school mentality, there's this back and forth, which I did have for a while, a long time ago. But when I think about legacy, and when I think about the scene, and I think about what this is, and I think about how much it meant to me, and knowing that other people are participating in it, and knowing that other people are just as dope and got just as many opportunities to do their thing or whatnot, and being proud of that, at some point you're going to have to get over that. You're going to have to get through it, whatever you got to do. Because some of this new shit is dope as hell. I be listening to my peers and my contemporaries sometime, man, and I almost get to argue with them like, man, you know, there's one thing to not like a song. There's another thing to speak with me with nothing but nostalgia. Because a lot of that is all that is, you know what I mean? And I agree with it because during this time, I felt this way too, right? But no, it's a new landscape, man. And there's some real dope people that's skating across it and making some waves. And if they can get some wisdom or some knowledge from myself or any of the other elder statesmen in the city, then why not? You know what I mean? I'm gonna pass it to them, and I'm gonna tell them where not to go. But then I'm gonna listen to them because sometimes they may have found a way to break that barrier that I couldn't find. I'm just gonna give them the information I had. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of ways to get through that, man. Y'all better get to it.